While being caressed, sweet princess, enter the caress as everlasting life. Stop the doors of the senses when feeling the creeping of an ant. Then, when on a bed or a seat, let yourself become weightless, beyond mind.
Man has a center, but lives off the center. That creates inner tension, constant turmoil, anguish. You are not where you should be. You are not at your right balance. You are off balance. And this being off balance, off center, is the base of all mental tensions. If it becomes too much, you go mad. A madman means one who has gone out of himself completely. The enlightened man is just the reverse of the madman. He is centered in himself, and you are in between. You have not gone completely out of yourself. You are not at your center also. You just move between the gap. Sometimes you move very, very far away. So you have moments when you are temporarily mad. In anger, in sex, in anything in which you have moved too away from yourself. You are temporarily mad. Then there is no difference between you and a madman. The difference is only he is permanently there, you are temporarily there. You will come back. When you are in anger, it is madness, but not permanent. Qualitatively, there is no difference. Quantitatively, there is difference. But the quality is the same. So sometimes you touch madness, and sometimes when you are relaxed, totally at ease, you touch your center also. Those are the blissful moments. They happen. Then you are just like a Buddha or like a Krishna, but only temporarily, momentarily. You will not be there. Really, the moment you realize that you are blissful, you have moved. It is so momentary that even the time that you take in recognition, it is finished. We go on moving between these two. But this movement is dangerous. This movement is dangerous because then you cannot create a self-image, a fixed self-image. You don't know who you are. If you constantly move from madness to being centered in yourself, if this movement is constant, you cannot have a solid image of yourself. You will have a liquid image. Then you don't know who you are. It is very difficult. That's why even we become afraid of touching these moments, we try to fix ourselves somewhere in between. That's what we mean by a normal human being. He never touches madness in anger. He never touches the total freedom, ecstasy also. He never moves from his solid image. Normal man is really a dead man between these 2 points. That's why all those who are exceptional, great artists, painters, poets, they are not normal. They are very liquid. Sometimes they touch the center. Sometimes they go mad. They move fast between these two. Of course, their anguish is great. Their tension is much. They have to live between 2 worlds constantly, changing themselves. That's why they feel that they have no identity. They feel, in the words of Colin Wilson, that they are outsiders. In your world of normalcy, they are outsiders. So, this will be helpful to define these 4 types. 1, the normal man, who has a fixed, solid identity, who knows who he is, a doctor, engineer, a professor, a saint, who knows who he is, and never moves from there, constantly clings to the identity, to the image. Second, those who have liquid images, poets, artists, painters, singers. They don't know who they are. Sometimes they become just normal. Sometimes they go mad. Sometimes they touch the ecstasy a Buddha touches. Thirdly, those who are permanently mad. They have gone outside themselves. They never come to their home back. They don't remember even that they have a home. And fourthly, those who have reached their home. Buddhas, Christs, Krishnas. This 4th category, those who have reached their home, they are totally relaxed. In their consciousness there is no tension, no effort, no desire. In one word, there is no becoming. They don't want to become anything. They are. They have being, no becoming. And they are at ease with their being. Whatsoever they are at ease with it. They don't want to change it. They don't want to go anywhere. They have no future. This very moment is eternity for them. No longing, no desire. That doesn't mean that a Buddha will not eat, or a Buddha will not sleep. He will eat, he will sleep, but these are not desires. A Buddha will not project these desires. He will not eat tomorrow. He will eat today. Remember this. You go on eating in tomorrows. You go on eating in the future. You go on eating in the past, in the yesterdays. And it rarely happens that you eat today. While you are eating today, your mind will be moving somewhere else. And while you will be trying to go into sleep, you will start eating tomorrow. Or the memory of the past will come. A Buddha eats today. This very moment he lives. He doesn't project his life into the future. There is no future for him. Whenever the future comes, it comes as present. It is always today. It is always now. So Buddha eats, but never eats in the mind. Remember this. There is no cerebral eating. You go on eating in the mind, which is absurd, because mind is not meant for eating. Your all centers are confused. Your whole body, mind is mixed up, is a mess. A Buddha eats, but never thinks of eating. And that applies for everything. So a Buddha is as ordinary as you while he is eating. So don't think that a Buddha is not going to eat. When the hot sun is there, he is not going to perspire. Or when cold winds come, he will not feel cold. He will feel it. But he will feel always in the present. It is never in the future. There is no becoming. If there is no becoming, there can be no tension. Understand this very clearly. If there is no becoming, how there can be any tension? Tension means you want to be something else which you are not. You are A and you want to be B. You are poor and you want to be a rich man. You are ugly and you want to be beautiful. Or you are stupid and you want to be a wise man. Whatsoever the wanting, whatsoever the desire, the form is always this. A wants to become B. Whatsoever you are not content with it. For contentment, something else is needed. And that is the constant structure of the mind of desiring. When you will get it, again the mind will say, this is not enough, something else is needed. The mind always moves on and on. Whatsoever you get becomes useless. The moment you get it, it is useless. This is desire. Buddha had called it trishna. This is becoming. And you move from one life to another, from one world to another, and this goes on. It can continue ad infinitum. There is no end to it. There is no end to desire, desiring. But if there is no becoming, if you accept totally whatsoever you are, ugly or beautiful, wise or stupid, rich or poor, whatsoever you are, if you accept it in its totality, becoming ceases. Then there is no tension. Then the tension cannot exist. Then there is no anguish. You are at ease. You are not running. This non-becoming mind is the centered mind in oneself. Quite on the opposite pole is the madman. He has no being. He is only becoming. He has forgotten what he is. The A is forgotten completely and he is trying to be B. He no more knows who he is. He only knows his desired goal. He doesn't live here and now. He lives somewhere else. That's why he looks crazy to us, mad. Because you live in this world and he lives in the world of his dreams. He is not part of your world. He is living somewhere else. He has completely forgotten his reality here and now. And with him, he has forgotten the world around him which is real. He lives in an unreal world. For him, that is the only reality. A Buddha lives this very moment in the being, and the madman, just the opposite, lives never in here and now, in the being, but always in becoming, somewhere on the horizon. These are the two polar opposites. So remember, madman is not against you. He is against Buddha. And also remember, Buddha is not against you. He is against the madman. You are in between, both mixed. You have madnesses, you have moments of enlightenment, but both are mixed. Sometimes suddenly it happens if you are relaxed. There are moments when you are relaxed. You are in love. For a few moments, for a single moment, your lover, your beloved is with you. It has been a long desire, a long effort, and at last, your beloved is with you. For a moment, mind goes off. This has been a long effort to be with the beloved. The mind has been hankering and hankering and hankering. And the mind has always been thinking about the beloved. Now the beloved is there. Suddenly, the mind cannot think. The old process cannot be continued. You were asking for the beloved, now the beloved is there. So the mind simply stops. In that moment, when the beloved is there is no desire. You are relaxed. Suddenly you are thrown to yourself. Unless a lover can throw you to yourself, it is not love. Unless in the presence of the beloved you become yourself, it is not love. Unless in the presence of the lover or the beloved, mind ceases completely to function, it is not love. Sometimes it happens. The mind ceases. And for a moment there is no desire. Love is desireless. Try to understand this. You may desire love, but love is desireless. When love happens, there is no desire. Mind is quiet, calm, relaxed. No more becoming. Nowhere to go. But this happens only for few moments. If at all it happens. If you have really loved someone, then it will happen for few moments. It is a shock. The mind cannot function because the whole function has become useless, absurd. For whom you were longing, he is there, or she is there, and the mind cannot think what to do now. For a few moments, the whole mechanism stops. You are relaxed in yourself. You touch your being, your center, and you feel at the source of well-being. A bliss fills you. A fragrance surrounds you. Suddenly, you are not the same man you were. That's why love transforms so much. If you are in love, you cannot hide it. That's impossible. If you are in love, it will be shown from your eyes, from your face, the way you walk, the way you sit, everything will show it, because you are not the same man. That desiring mind is not there. You are like a Buddha, of course, for a few moments. This cannot be continued for long, because it is just a shock. Immediately the mind will try to find out some ways and excuses to think again. For example, the mind may start thinking, you have attained your goal, you have attained your love, now what? Now what you are going to do? And the process starts. Or you may start thinking, today I have reached to my beloved, but will it be also tomorrow the same? The mind has started working. And the moment mind works, you have moved again into becoming. Sometimes even without love, just through fatigue, tiredness, one stops desiring. Then too, one is thrown to himself. When you are not away from yourself, you are bound to be at yourself, whatsoever may be the cause of it. One is tired totally, fatigued, doesn't feel like thinking even or desiring, frustrated completely, no hope. Suddenly, one feels at home. Now he cannot go anywhere. All the doors are closed. Hope has disappeared. With it, desire. With it, becoming. It will not be for long, because your mind has a mechanism. It can go off for a few moments, but suddenly it will come alive again, because you cannot exist hopelessly. You will have to find out some hope. You cannot exist without desire, because you don't know how to exist without desire. You will have to create some desire. But in any situation where suddenly it happens that the mind ceases functioning, you are at your center. You are on a holiday, in a forest or on a hill station or on a beach, and suddenly your routine mind cannot work. The office is not there, the wife is not there, the husband is not there. Suddenly, a very new situation, and the mind will need some time to function in it, to be adjusted to it. The mind feels unadjusted. The situation is so new. You relax, and you are at your center. In these moments, you become a Buddha. But these will be only moments, and then they will haunt you. Then you would like to reproduce them again and again and repeat them. But remember, they happened spontaneously. So you cannot repeat them. And the more you try to repeat them, the more it will be impossible for them to come to you. That is happening to everyone. You loved someone, and the first meeting, your mind ceased for a few moments. Then you got married. Why you got married? To repeat those beautiful moments again and again. But when they happened, you were not married. And they cannot happen in marriage. Because the whole situation is different. Two people meeting for the first time, the whole situation is new. Their minds cannot function in it. They are so overwhelmed by it, so filled by it, by the new experience, by the new light, the new flowering. Then they think, the mind starts functioning, that this is such a beautiful moment. Go on repeating it every day. So get married. Mind will destroy everything. Marriage means mind. Love is spontaneous. Marriage is calculation. Get married. It is a mathematical thing. Then wait for those moments, they will never come again. That's why every married man, woman is frustrated. Because they are waiting for certain things which did happen in the past. Why they are not happening again? They cannot happen because you are missing the whole situation. Now you are not new. Now there is no spontaneity. Now love is a routine. Now everything is expected and demanded. Now love has become a duty, not a fun. It was fun in the beginning. Now it is a duty. And duty cannot give you the same bliss as fun can give. It is impossible. Your mind has created the whole thing. Now you go on expecting. And the more you expect, the less is the possibility of its happening. This happens everywhere, not only in marriage. You go to a guru, and the experience is new. His presence, his words, his way of life is new. Suddenly your mind stops functioning. Then you think, this is the man for me, so I must go every day. Now you get married to him. By and by frustration sets in, because you have made a duty, a routine. Now those same experiences will not be coming. Then you think, this man has deceived. I was befooled somehow. Then you think that the first experience was somehow hallucinatory. I must have been hypnotized or something. It was not real. It was real. Your routine mind makes it unreal. And then the mind tries to expect, but when the first time it happened, you were not expecting. You had come without any expectation. You were just open to receive whatsoever was happening. Now you come every day with expectation, with a closed mind. It cannot happen. It always happens in the open mind. It always happens in a new situation. That doesn't mean that you have to change your situation daily. That only means don't allow your mind to create a pattern. Then your wife will be new every day. Your husband will be new every day. But don't allow the mind to create a pattern of expectations. Don't allow the mind to move in future. Then your guru will be every day new. Your friend will be every day new. Then everything is new in the world except the mind. Mind is the only thing which is old. Always old. The sun is every day new rising. It is not the old sun. The moon is new. The day, the night, the flowers, the trees, everything is new except your mind. your mind is always old. Remember always, because mind means the past, the accumulated experience, the projected experience. Mind means the past, and life means the present. Life is always blissful, mind is never. So wherever you allow your mind to come in, misery sets in. So these spontaneous moments will not be repeated again. So what to do? How to be in a relaxed state continuously? These 3 sutras are for this. 3 techniques concerning the feeling of ease, relaxedness. How to remain in the being. How not to move in the becoming. It is difficult, arduous, but these techniques can help. These techniques will throw you upon yourself. First technique. While being caressed, sweet princess, enter the caressing as everlasting life. While being loved, sweet princess, enter the loving as everlasting life. Shiva starts with love. The first technique is concerned with love. Because love is the nearest in your experience in which you are relaxed. If you cannot love, it is impossible for you to relax. If you can relax, your life will become a loving life. A tense man cannot love. Why? A tense man always lives with purpose. He can earn money. He cannot love, because love is purposeless. Love is not a commodity. You cannot accumulate it. You cannot make a bank balance of it. You cannot strengthen your ego out of it. Really, love is the most absurd act with no meaning beyond it, no purpose beyond it. It exists in itself, not for anything else. You earn money for something. It is a means. You make a house, you build a house for something to live in it. It is a means. Love is not a means. Why you love? For what you love? Love is the end in itself. That's why a mind who is calculative, logical, a mind who thinks in terms of purpose cannot love. And a mind who thinks in terms of purpose always will be tense, because purpose can only be fulfilled in the future, never here and now. You built a house, you cannot live in it just now. You will have to build it. You can live in the future, not now. You earn money. The bank balance will be created in the future, not now. Means you will have to use now, and ends will come in the future. Love is always here. There is no future to it. That's why love is so near to meditation. That's why death is also so near to meditation. Because death always is here and now. It can never happen in the future. Can you die in the future? You can die only in the present. No one has ever died in the future. How can you die in the future? Or how can you die in the past? The past has gone, it is no more. So you cannot die in it. The future has yet not come. So how can you die in it? Death always occurs in the present. Death, love, meditation, they all occur in the present. So if you are afraid of death, you cannot love. If you are afraid of love, you cannot meditate. If you are afraid of meditation, your life will be useless. Useless, not in the sense of any purpose. Useless in the sense that you can never feel any bliss in it. Futile. It may seem strange to connect these three: love, meditation, death. It is not. They are similar experiences. So if you can enter in one, you can enter in all the remaining two. Shiva starts with love. He says, while being caressed, loved. Sweet princess, enter the caressing, loving, as everlasting life. What does it mean? Many things. One, while you are loved, past has ceased, future is not. You move in the dimension of the present. You move in the now. Have you ever loved someone? If you have ever loved, then mind is no more there. That's why the so-called wise men say lovers are blind, mindless, mad. They say, rightly, in essence, lovers are blind because they have no eyes for the future to calculate what they are doing. They are blind, they cannot see the past, what has happened to lovers. They just move here and now without any consideration of past or future, without any consideration of consequences. That's why they are called blind. They are blind for those who are calculating, and they are seers for those who are not calculating. Those who are not calculating will see love as the real eye, the real vision. So the first thing, in the moment of love, past, future are no more. Then one delicate point to be understood. When there is no past and no future, can you call this moment the present? It is present only between the two, past and future. It is relative. If there is no past and no future, what does it mean to call it the present? It is meaningless. That's why Shiva doesn't use the word present. He says everlasting life, eternity. Enter eternity. Time We divide in theory past, present, future. That division is false. Absolutely false. Time is really past and future. Present is not part of time. Present is part of eternity. That which has passed is time. That which is to come is time. That which is not time, because it never passes. It is always there. The now is always here. It is always here. This now is eternal. If you move from past, you never move in the present. From past you always move into future. There comes no moment which is present. From past you always move into future. From present you can never move into the future. From present you go deep and deep in more present and more present. That is everlasting life. We may say this in this way. From past to future is time. Time means you move on the plane, a straight line. Or we may call it as horizontal. The moment you are in the present, the dimension changes. You move vertical, up or down, towards the height or towards the depth. But then you never move horizontal. A Buddha, a Shiva, lives in eternity, not in time. Jesus was asked, what will happen in your kingdom of God? The man who asked him was not asking about time. He was asking about what is going to happen to his desires, how they will be fulfilled, whether there be life everlasting or will there be death, will there be any misery, will there be inferior and superior men. He was asking things of this world. What is going to happen in your kingdom of God? And Jesus replied, the reply is like a Zen monk. Jesus says, there shall be time no longer. He may not have understood at all, the man who was replied this way. There shall be time no longer. Only one thing Jesus said, there shall be time no longer. Because time is horizontal and the kingdom of God is vertical. It is eternal. It is always here. Only you have to move away from time to enter in it. So love is the first door. You can move away from time. That's why everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to love. And no one knows why so much significance for love is there. Why such deep longing for love? And unless you know it rightly, you can neither love nor be loved. Because love is one of the deepest phenomena upon this earth. We go on thinking that everyone is capable of love as he is. It is not the case. It is not so. That's why you are frustrated. Love is a different dimension. And if you try to love someone in time, you will be defeated in your effort. In time, love is not possible. I remember one anecdote. Meera was in love with Krishna. She was a housewife, wife of a prince. The prince became jealous of Krishna. Krishna was no more. Krishna was not present. Krishna was not a physical body. There is a gap of 5,000 years between Krishna's physical existence and Meera's physical existence. So really, how Meera can be in love with Krishna? Time gap is so much. So one day the prince asked Meera, her husband asked her, you go on talking about your love, you go on dancing and singing around Krishna, but where he is, to whom you are so much in love, with whom you are talking continuously. Meera was talking with Krishna. Singing, laughing, fighting. She looked mad. She was in our eyes. So the prince says, have you gone mad? Where is your Krishna? To whom you are loving, with whom you are conversing. And I am here, and you have completely forgotten me. Meera says, Krishna is here, you are not here. Because Krishna is eternal, you are not. He will be always here. He was always here. He is here. You will not be here. You were not here. You were not here. One day you will not be here. So how I can believe that between these two non-existences you are here? How existence is possible between two non-existences? The prince is in time. The Krishna is in eternity. So you can be near the prince, but the distance cannot be discharged. You will be distant. You may be very, very distant in time from Krishna. You can be near, but it is a different dimension. I look in front of me and there is a wall. I move my eyes and there is a sky. When you look in time, there is always a wall. When you look beyond time, there is open sky, infinite. Love opens the infinity, the everlastingness of existence. So really, if you have ever loved, love can be made a technique of meditation. This is the technique. While being loved, sweet princes enter loving as everlasting life. Don't be a lover standing aloof out. Become loving. and move into eternity. When you are loving someone, are you there as the lover? If you are there, you are in time. And love is just false, just pseudo. If you are still there and you can say, I am, then you could be physically near, but spiritually you are poles apart. While in love, you must not be. Only love. Only loving. Become loving. Caressing your beloved or your lover. Become the caress. Kissing, don't be the kisser. Or the kissed, be the kiss. Forget the ego completely, dissolve it into the act. Move into the act so deeply that the actor is no more. And if you cannot move in love, it is difficult to move in eating or walking. Very difficult. Because love is the easiest approach to dissolve the ego. That's why those who are egoists, they cannot love. They may talk about it, they may sing about it, they may write about it, but they cannot love. The ego cannot love. Shiva says, become loving. When you are in the embrace, become the embrace, become the kiss. Forget yourself so totally that you can say that I am no more, only love exists. Then the heart is not beating, but love is beating. Then the blood is not circulating, love is circulating. Then eyes are not seeing, love is seeing. Then hands are not moving to touch, love is moving to touch. Become love. And enter everlasting life. Love suddenly changes your dimension. You are thrown out of time and you are facing eternity. Love can become a deep meditation, the deepest possible. And lovers have known sometimes what saints have not known. And lovers have touched that center which many yogis have missed. But it will be just a glimpse. Unless you transform your love in meditation. Tantra means this, transformation of love into meditation. And now you can understand why Tantra talks so much about love and sex. Why? Because love is the easiest natural door from where you can transcend this world, this horizontal dimension. Look at Shiva. With his consort Devi. Look at them. They don't seem to be two. They are one. The oneness is so deep that it has gone even in symbols. We all have seen Shivalinga. That is a phallic symbol. Shiva's sex organ. But it is not alone. It is based in Devi's vagina. Hindus of those days were very daring. Now, when you see a Shivalinga, you never remember it is a phallic symbol. We have forgotten. We have tried to forget it completely. Jung remembers in his autobiography, in his memoirs, a very beautiful and funny incident. He came to India. He went to see Konark. And in the temple of Konark there are many, many Shivlingas, many phallic symbols. The Pandit who was taking him around explained him everything except Shivlingas. And there were so many, so it was difficult to escape. Jung was well aware, but just to tease the Pandit, he went on asking, but what are these? So the Pandit in the last said in his ear, in Jung's ear, don't ask me here, I will tell you afterwards. This is a private thing. Jung must have laughed inside. These are the Hindus of today. Then outside the temple, the Pandit came near and he said, it was not good of you to ask before others. I will tell you now, it is a secret. And then again in Jung's ear he said, they are our private parts. When Jung went back, he met a great scholar, a scholar of Oriental thought, myth, philosophy, Heinrich Zimmer. So he related this anecdote to Zimmer. Zimmer was one of the most gifted minds who tried to penetrate Indian thought. And he was a lover of India and the ways of thinking, the Oriental, non-logical, mystic approach towards life. When he heard this from Jung, he laughed and he said, this is good for a change. I have always heard about great Indians, Buddha, Krishna, Mahavir. What you relate says not about any great Indian, but about Indians. Love for Shiva is the great gate. And for him, sex is also not something to be condemned. For him, sex is the seed and love is the flowering of it. And if you condemn the seed, you condemn the flowers. Sex can become love. If it never becomes love, then it is crippled. Condemn the crippledness, not the sex. Love must flower. Sex must become love. If it is not becoming, it is not the fault of sex, it is your fault. Sex must not remain sex. That is the tantra teaching. It must be transformed into love. And love also must not remain love. It must be transformed into light, into meditative experience, into the last ultimate mystic peak. How to transform love? Be the act and forget the actor. While loving, be love. Simple love. Then it is not your love or my love or anybody else. It is simple love. When you are not there, then you are in the hands of a ultimate source, current. Then you are in love. It is not you who is in love. Then the love has engulfed you. You have disappeared. You have just become a flowing energy. D.H. Lawrence, one of the most creative minds of this age, was knowingly, unknowingly, a tantra adept. He was condemned in the West completely. His books were banned. There were many cases in the courts because he said that sex energy is the only energy. And if you condemn it and suppress it, you are against the universe. And you will never be capable of knowing the higher flowering of this energy. And when suppressed, it becomes ugly. And this is the vicious circle. Priests, moralists, so-called religious people, popes and Sankaracharya's and others, they go on condemning sex. They say this is an ugly thing. And when you suppress it, it becomes ugly. So they say, look, what we said is true. It is proved by you. Look, whatsoever you are doing is ugly. And you know it is ugly. But it is not sex which is ugly, it is these priests who have made this ugly. And once they have made it, they are proved right. And when they are proved right, you go on making it more and more ugly, uglier. Sex is innocent energy, life flowing in you, existence alive in you. Don't cripple it. Allow it to move towards heights. That is, sex must become love. What is the difference? When your mind is sexual, you are exploiting the other. The other is just an instrument to be used and thrown. When sex becomes love, the other is not an instrument. The other is not to be exploited. The other is not really the other. When you love, it is not self-centric. Rather, the other becomes significant, unique. It is not that you are exploiting him. No. On the contrary, you both are joining in a deep experience. You are partners of a deep experience, not the exploiter and the exploited. You are helping each other to move in a different world of love. Sex is exploitation. Love is moving together into a different world. If this moving is not momentary, and if this moving becomes meditative, that is, if you can forget yourself completely, and the lover and the beloved disappear, and there is only love flowing, then Shiva says, everlasting life is yours. Second technique, stop the doors of the senses when feeling the creeping of an ant. Then this looks very simple. It is not so simple. I will read it again. Stop the doors of senses when feeling the creeping of an ant. This is only for example, anything. Stop the doors of the senses when feeling the creeping of an ant, then, and then the thing will happen. What he is saying, you have a thorn into your feet. It is painful. You are suffering. Or one ant is there, creeping on your leg. You feel the creeping, and suddenly you want it to be thrown away. Any experience, you have a wound, it is painful. You have headache or anything in the body. Anything will do as an object. This is only an example, creeping of an ant. Shiva says, stop the doors of senses when feeling the creeping of an ant. Whatsoever you are feeling, stop all the doors of the senses. What is to be done? Close your eyes and think that you are just blind, you cannot see. Close your ears and think you cannot hear. All the five senses, you just close them. How to close them? It is easy. Stop breathing for a single moment, and all the senses will be closed. When the breath has stopped and all the senses are closed, where is the creeping? Where is the ant? Suddenly, you are removed far away. One of my friend, old friend, very aged, fall down from the staircase, and doctors said that now he cannot move from his bed for 3 months together. So he will have to be resting for 3 months, and he was a very restless man. It was difficult for him. I went to see him, so he said, pray for me and bless me so that I may die, because these 3 months are more than death. I cannot remain stone-like. And they said, don't move. So I told him, this is a good opportunity. You just close your eyes and think yourself that you are just a stone. You cannot move. How can you move? You are a stone. Just a stone, a statue. Close your eyes, feel that you are now a stone, a statue. He asked me what will happen. I told him, just try. I am sitting here and nothing can be done. Nothing can be done. You will have to be here for 3 months anyhow. So try. he would have never tried. But this situation was so impossible that he said, okay, I will try because something may happen. I don't believe. He said, I don't believe that something can happen by just thinking that you are just a stone, like a statue, dead. But I told him, try. He tried. I was also not thinking that something is going to happen, because the man was such. But sometimes when you are in an impossible situation, hopeless, things begin to happen. He closed his eyes. I waited because I was thinking within 2 or 3 minutes he will open and he will say, nothing happens. But he will not open his eyes. He will not open his eyes. And 30 minutes passed. And I could feel and see that he had become a statue. All the tension on his forehead disappeared. His face changed. I had to leave. But he will not open his eyes. And he was so silent, as if dead. His breathing calmed down. And because I had to leave, I had to ask him, now I want to go. You please open your eyes and tell me what has happened. He opens his eyes, a different man. And he said, this is a miracle. What have you done to me? I told him, I have not done anything at all. He said, something you must have done, because this is a miracle. When I begin to think that I am just like a stone, a statue, suddenly the feeling came to me. Even if I wanted to move my hands, it was impossible to move. I wanted so many times to open my eyes, but they were of a stone. So I couldn't open them. He said, even I became worried what you will be thinking. It is so long. But what can I do? I couldn't move myself for these 30 minutes. And when every movement ceased, suddenly the world disappeared. I was alone deep down in me. And the pain disappeared. And there was severe pain. He couldn't sleep in the night without tranquilizers. And the pain disappeared. So I asked him how you felt it when the pain was disappearing. He said, first, I began to feel that it is somewhere distant. The pain was there, but very far away, as happening to someone else. And then by and by, as if someone is going away and away and away, and then you cannot see. He disappears. The pain disappeared. For at least 10 minutes, the pain was no more. How a stone body can have pain? This sutra says, stop the doors of senses, become stone-like, closed to the world. When you are close to the world, really, you are close to your own body also. Because your body is not part of you, it is part of the world. When you are close completely to the world, you are close to your own body also. Then, Shiva says, then the thing will happen. So try it with the body. Anything will do. You will not need some ant creeping on you. Otherwise you will think, when the ant will creep, we will meditate. And such helpful ants are difficult to find. So anything, you are lying on your bed, you feel the cold sheets become dead. Suddenly the sheets will go away, and they will disappear. Your bed will disappear, your bedroom will disappear, the whole world will disappear. You are close, dead stone. Like a Lebanesian monad with no window outside moving. You cannot move. And then, when you cannot move, you are thrown back to yourself. You are centered in yourself. Then for the first time you can look from your center. And once you can look from your center, you can never be the same man again. The third technique, when on a bed or a seat, let yourself become weightless beyond mind. You are sitting here. Just feel that you have become weightless. There is no weight. You will feel somewhere or other there is weight. But go on feeling the weightlessness. It comes. A moment comes when you feel that you are weightless. There is no weight. When there is no weight, you are no more a body. Because the weight is of the body, not of you. You are weightless. That's why there were so many experiments done. Someone dying. And many scientists all over the world have tried many times to weigh. If there is a slight difference, while the man was alive, the weight was more, and when the man is dead, the weight is less, then scientists can say something has moved from the body. Then a soul or self or something that was there is no more. Because for science, nothing can be weightless. Nothing. Weight is basic to all matter. Even sun rays have weight. It is very, very slight, minute, difficult to weight, but they have weight. On a 5 square mile ground, if you can collect all the sun rays, they will weigh similar to a hair. But they weigh. They have weight. Nothing can be weightless for science. And if something can be weightless, then it is immaterial. It cannot be matter. And science believed up to these 20 or 25 years that there is nothing except matter. So when a man dies, if something leaves, the weight must differ. But it never differs. The weight remains the same. Even sometimes it becomes more. That is a problem. The alive man was less, and the dead man becomes more weighty. That created new problems. Because they were really trying to find out if some weight is lost, then we can say something has left. But it seems on the contrary, something has come in. What has happened? Weight is material, but you are not a weight. You are immaterial. If you try this technique of weightlessness, you just have to conceive that you are weightless, weightless, weightless. And not only to conceive, feel that your body has become weightless. If you go on feeling, a moment comes, suddenly you realize you are weightless. You are already, so you can realize it any time. You have only to create a situation in which you can feel again that you are weightless. You have to dehypnotize yourself. This is a hypnosis that I am a body, that's why I feel weight. If you can dehypnotize yourself that you are not a body, you will not feel weight. And when you don't feel weight, Shiva says, when on a bed or on a seat, let yourself become weightless beyond mind, then mind has also weight. Each one's mind has a different weight. Sometimes there were some proposals that weighted the mind more intelligent. And generally it is true. But not absolutely. Because sometimes very small minds were very great men. And sometimes some stupid idiots weigh very much. But generally it is true. Because you have a bigger mechanism of the mind, you weigh more. Mind is also a weight. But your consciousness is weightless. To feel this consciousness, you have to feel weightlessness. So try it. Walking, sitting, sleeping, you can try it. Some observations. Why the dead body becomes more weighty sometimes? Because the moment your consciousness leaves the body becomes unprotected. And many things can enter it immediately. They were not entering because of you. Many vibrations can enter in a dead body. They cannot enter in you. You were there. The body was alive, resistant to many things. That's why once you are ill, it begins to be a long sequence. One illness, then another, and then another. Because once you are ill, you become unprotected, vulnerable, non-resistant. Then anything enters. Anything can enter. Your presence protects the body. So sometimes you can gain weight. The moment you leave it, anything can enter in your body. Secondly, when you are happy, you always feel weightless. When you are sad, you always feel more weight. As if something is pulling you down. The gravitation becomes much more. When you are sad, you are more weighty. When you are happy, you are light. You feel it. Why? Because when you are happy, whenever you feel a blissful moment, you forget the body completely. When you are sad, suffering, you cannot forget the body. You feel the weight of it. It pulls you down to the earth, as if you are rooted. You cannot move. You have roots in the earth. In happiness, you are weightless. In sorrow, sadness, you become weighty. In deep meditation, when you forget your body completely, you can levitate. Even the body can go up with you. It happens many times. Scientists have been observing one woman in Bolivia. While meditating, she goes up 4 feet. And now it has been a scientific observation. Many films have been taken, many photographs. Before thousands and thousands of observers, suddenly the woman goes up and the gravitation becomes nullified. Yet there is no explanation what happens. But that same woman cannot go up while not in meditation. And if her meditation is disturbed, suddenly she falls down. What happens? Deep in meditation, you forget your body completely and the identification is broken. Body is a very small thing. You are very big. You have infinite power. Body has nothing in comparison to you. But it is as if an emperor has become identified with his slave. So the slave goes begging, so emperor goes begging. The slave weeps, the emperor weeps. The slave says, I am no one, the emperor says, I am no one. Once the emperor recognizes his own being, once he recognizes that he is the emperor and this man was just a slave, everything will change suddenly. You are infinite power, identified with a very finite body. Once you realize yourself, that weightlessness becomes more than the weight of the body. You can levitate. The body can go. There are many, many stories which cannot be proved scientifically yet, but they will be proved. Because if one woman can go 4 feet, then there is no barrier. Another can go 1,000 feet. Another can go completely into the cosmos. Theoretically, there is no problem, 4 feet or 400 feet or 4,000. There are stories about Ram and about many others who have disappeared completely with their body. Their bodies were never found dead on this earth. Muhammad disappeared completely. Not only with his body, it is said with his horse also. They look impossible. They look mythological. Not necessarily. Once you know the weightless force, you have become master of gravitation. You can use it. It depends on you. You can disappear completely with your body. But to us, weightlessness will be a problem. Try it. The Siddhasan the way Buddha sits is the best, to be weightless. Sit on earth, not on any chair or anything, just on the floor. And it is good if the floor is not of cement or anything artificial. Just sit on the ground. So you are nearest to nature. It is good if you can sit naked. Just sit naked on the ground. In the Buddha posture, Siddhasana. Because Siddhasana is the best, to be weightless. Why? Because you feel more weight if your body is leaning to this way or that. Because then your body has more area to be affected by gravitation. I am sitting on this chair. Then my more area of my body is affected by gravitation. While you are standing, less area is affected. But you cannot stand more. Mahavir always meditated standing. Always. Because then you cover the least area of gravitation. Just your feet are touching. And you are standing on your feet, straight. So least gravitation works on you. And gravitation is weight. Sit in a Buddha posture, locked. Your legs are locked, your hands are locked. They also help, because your inner electricity becomes a circuit. Let your spine be straight. And now you can understand why so much emphasis has been given to a straight spine. Because with a straight spine, less and less area is covered. Gravitation affects you less. With closed eyes, then balance yourself completely. Center yourself. Lean to the right, feel gravitation. Lean to the left, feel gravitation. Lean forward, feel gravitation. Lean backward, feel gravitation. And then find out the center where least gravitation is felt, least weight is felt. Then remain there. Then forget the body and feel that you are not weight, you are weightless. Then go on feeling this weightlessness. Suddenly you become weightless. Suddenly you are not the body. Suddenly you are in a different world. Bodilessness. Weightlessness is bodilessness. Then you transcend mind also. Because mind is also part of the body. Part of matter. Matter has weight. You don't have any weight. This is the base of this technique. Try any, but stick to it for a few days so that you can feel whether it is working or not. Enough for today.